Hey everybody, Matumbo here. Welcome back to the channel. And today we are not playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena, but we are going to be talking about Historic Anthologies 4 and what it's going to be bringing to the table, and honestly why you should be upset that Wizards is putting out this product, essentially to take your money. But real quick though, before we get into this video, I do want to give you guys a quick little bit of an update. Again, if you want to like, comment, subscribe, anything you do to help the channel would be amazing. If not, you don't have to. Again, kind of my fault that I haven't been around, but kind of also at the same time, not my fault, just due to what's been going on. And I do want to start off, obviously, I want to give everybody a quick update. So basically what happened is a lot of people familiar with the crazy blizzard of 2021 that just happened here in Texas a few weeks ago. We lost power for about 3 days. And once the power came back on, we lost water. And then it took our apartment complex a little over 16 days to restore our water. So just want to give you guys an idea. This is it's not something that I've really I've never had to deal with before. My family, luckily we had family down the road. We were able to go and shower and do laundry and whatnot down the road. But you take things for granted when you have access to them, especially with something as simple as having running water. Now, we weren't able to we couldn't cook because we couldn't clean our dishes. So we had to do a lot of just, fending for ourselves. Luckily though, the water, or not the water, but the ice and snow thawed pretty quickly. So we were able to, get, food from delivery methods, whatnot, and family as well. But yeah, it was pretty crazy just not being able to be in a good mindset because I'm still dealing with work, long hours. I'm working typically anywhere between 10 to 14 hours a day. Work is crazy. But, and I am doing a little bit of rambling, but I'm just really explaining what's going on. But finally, we have water again. I'm in a better mindset just because of that. When you wake up and you have to literally, you're not able to flush your toilet or wash your hands. Just simple things, again, that you take for granted. It just puts you in a funk, and you don't want to do anything. I literally don't even think I played any Magic at all during this time. I kept up with it, followed the streamers that I normally follow, still hung out with some friends online, but I just could not get myself to make any Magic videos. And for that, I am sorry. Hopefully you'll understand. And I know a lot of you have been sending your love and thoughts and prayers and everything to me. And again, so awesome of each and every one of you doing that. Some of you guys were checking on me constantly, asking how I was doing. And that alone just makes me so happy that I've grown this community, and we've grown this community. So again, thank you so much for all of that love, that outpouring of love. It's just been amazing. But let's really talk about what's going on with this Historic Anthologies. So Historic Anthologies, typically I think it is it's bad for Arena. At first I was a fan of it, but then the more they started to push them out, and the more that I saw them starting to do the remastered sets, the more I'm starting to dislike them. But I do understand why they're doing them. So I want to at least be on the side of the fence for right now on why they're putting it out. Not necessarily why they're putting out these particular cards, but we're just going to play devil's advocate for a second, and we're going to talk about these and why it's good, I guess, so to speak, but it really isn't. It's going to be really hard for me to get through this, but we're going to just scroll to the top. We're not going to read through everything, but we are going to just kind of hit on the cards. And again, though, the reasoning behind this, again, is they've already set a precedence. They are going to release these every once in a while, and it's going to help mold the game. I really feel like, honestly, if I had to be honest with you, I really feel like they're doing this just to essentially finally get a version of Commander, whether it be, if they mold Brawl or Historic Brawl into Commander. I do feel like overall this is for functionality, and in that sense, I do feel like this is good for Arena. But for Historic in general, I do not think these are healthy for Historic. I don't think anthologies are healthy for Historic. I don't think any of the remastered sets are healthy for Historic. I can make a case for the remastered sets, but I also don't think that Jumpstart was healthy for Historic at all. If you've never heard me weigh in on this, it's because the term historic was first featured back when Dominaria came out in reference to spells that were historic, such as artifacts, sagas, legendary spells, stuff like that. So I was hoping that once they pushed historic on Arena, that they were going to potentially just go from Dominaria forward, and we were going to have a new block, Pioneer, Modern, however you want to look at it, just a new starting point for a new block. And I really felt like historic, and that term historic and where they started was a great place for them to do it. But they've obviously molded it into a different being, so to speak, of what it is. And unfortunately, we are where we are. But again, I do feel like sometimes the cards are okay, but overall, I do think it is not good for historic, because obviously we've seen cards being banned and unbanned, and cards that still need to be banned and not ever even brought in. But let's just go ahead and let's do what we came here to do. And let's talk about these. So again, we're just going to go through these real quick. We're not even going to hit on all of them, honestly. We're going to hit on just mainly a few. Them being, we're going to talk about Adorned Pouncer. We're going to talk about Torment of Scarabs, Flameblade Adept, Faith of the Devoted, Inspiring Statuary, and Amid Eternal. So those cards in specific, these very specific cards, should already have been brought into Arena. These were part of the sets that the remastered sets were released already. They should not have been cut out. They should have been included in those sets to be pulled from packs. We should not even be having this conversation about, hey, why are we seeing cards from sets in this that we just got this set for on Arena? So again, this is a tricky situation that Wizards is really putting us in, because they're releasing sets, and they've even mentioned that they're trying to get Pioneer onto Arena, but you're not even going to be able to get Pioneer onto Arena unless all of the cards for Pioneer are available. So when they release a set like Amonkhet Remastered or Kaladesh Remastered, they need to just go ahead and release the whole set, because then we don't have cards like these, because these cards were not initially released with the set. So we're looking at 6 cards that we should have already had access to, and these cards are not very good. Obviously, the playability of some of these are slightly meme-worthy at best. The Adorned Pouncer might see play. The Flameblade Adept might see play. Torment of Scarabs might see play in a weird control-ish deck. But the other cards, they're not going to see play. They're not good. They should have already been added into the packs, like I mentioned, because, again, they're just filler. These are just fillers. We have, out of those cards, 2 of them are rare. The rest are uncommons. And again, they're not good, and we should have already seen them. And Wizards really dropped the ball on this these particular cards being included. And there's still other cards in Kaladesh and in Amonkhet Remastered that still have not been reprinted. And how are we going to get those cards later on? Again, when you release a set, Wizards, just release the whole freaking set and just let us open packs. Yes, this may save you a little bit of money in the long run, but if you're going to buy the historic, if you're going to buy the historic anthology, just spend the money. Most people are going to spend gems or gold. Well, obviously those are the only ways to buy it. But some people are going to spend their hard-earned money to buy gems. Some people are going to save up gems or gold to buy it. You're still putting in one form or fashion, blood, sweat, and tears, whether that's through making money through your work or through working to save up gold. You're still putting something into the game to get something out of it. And I think with a premium set like this, we need to be rewarded more. Now, some of the cards in here I think are actually great for Historic, only because of how Historic is actually starting to mold itself. Declaration of Stone, I actually think is a good card to be added in. The 2 crab cards, well, Merit Lage's Slumber is not a crab card, but it looks like a crab card sitting next to this other crab. These are interesting because obviously they have put snow in the set with Kaldheim. Now, the Sword of Body and Mind is a card I don't think should have been included, only because of the fact that I feel like whenever they do go to include the swords, they should include more than one sword, because again, this is going to kind of warp it's not really necessarily going to warp the meta, but it is going to cause a slight imbalance, because now we have slightly more cards that are protection from green and from blue, as opposed to the rest of the cycle of swords that are available. So whether or not they are going to include the swords in the future sets, now we most likely know, yes, they are probably going to include more swords. And if that's the case, this leds me to believe that it is, in my opinion, more slated towards a Brawl or a Commander type format, specifically for these, as opposed to Historic. I really think Historic is just going to get merged in this big joke format at some point, where it's just going to be uncontrollable. Because again, as sets come out, more crazy combo decks are coming available, and just the format's getting faster. It's turning into modern. But one of the, some of these cards that may or may not even be modern legal at some point are just going to break the format. The other card, Inspiring Statuary. This is a card again. Should have been included. It isn't a remastered set. Should have been included in a set. I do think that this has potential in what we're seeing on Arena, but again, I've already hit on this. At some point I'm going to be beating a dead horse. But again, if you release a set, release the set. Don't turn it into some weird, Frankenstein's monster set where you're including and excluding cards that you shouldn't be. Just release the whole set, give us the set, let us move on. I think it's healthier overall. I think Wizards might actually make more money if they do it this way. If they do it that way, they release the whole set as opposed to chopping it up. And then they can focus on adding additional premium cards that people may want to purchase more. I do feel like if there's bigger hits in the anthology sets, we are going to actually see more people playing Historic, more people purchasing these, again, whether or not it's with gems or with gold. Blinkbomb Nexus, I think it's a playable card. I actually think this is one of the cards that I'm fine with being in this set. So we're just going to leave it at that. Cold Steel Heart, again, with all the snow that came in Kaldheim, the reintroduction of that. I think this is a great card. I think this is also a great card for Brawl. Again, cards like this make me think that they are going to start focusing more on Brawl. We'll finally get some Historic Brawl permanently added. Brawl, I think, is a great format because it is more Commander-like than the other formats, obviously. And I do feel like when they add cards like this, it is more obviously of what people want in general. And I hope that we see more of this. I mean, I think this is a great card. Now, a couple quick cards here. Harmless Offering. This is a card that I actually predicted to be printed in, was it the Kaladesh remastered set? I thought that this was a card that they might actually bring back. So I am pretty happy to see this because there are a lot of fun things you can do with this. Namely with some enchantments, whether one being one that features cats, one that features demons. This is a card that will see some play. Again, it'll be meme worthy. It won't be competitive at all, but it'll be a lot of fun. And plus, this is a great card in the fact that it's got great art. Not necessarily a great card, but it has really cool art. It's got a kitten on it with a crazy little Eldrazi tail beast thing. And yeah. So again, I'm happy about Harmless Offering. Out of all the cards, I think like this is one of the coolest cards that they're at. Death Shadow. I actually am okay with Death Shadow. We have another card, kind of close to this card that's already in Historic. It costs 1 extra mana. It does almost the exact same thing. It can actually grow bigger than this, but Death Shadow being in Historic, I don't think is a problem. But to me, it is kind of underwhelming that this is the highlighted card that they chose to basically premiere as their highlight for anthologies for. I feel like a card that they're actually focusing on, that they should actually be highlighting as the 25th card, should be a Mythic. So they should have focused on either Sword of Body and Mind or Triumphant Reckoning. And that leads me to another point in this of why you should be upset, is for two reasons, really. Is we only have 25 cards in this anthology set, where the last two anthology sets, set number 3 had 27 cards, and set number 2 had 26 cards. So we're getting less cards. We're spending the same amount. We're getting less cards. And then on top of that, we're actually getting 2 less Mythics. In the last anthology set, we actually got 4 Mythics, and in this, we're only getting 2. We're also getting, I believe, 9 rares in this set, which I think is comparable to what we were getting in Anthologies 3. But again, I do think that we should be getting more premium cards. We should be getting less cards that we should have already seen in regards to, like I said, cards that should have already been printed in remastered sets that they held off specifically just to fill in gaps, again, to make more money. And again, I understand Wizards are trying to do that, but some of these decisions are just not correct. They should just be. I'm just going to keep beating this. They should just be releasing cards in sets and not breaking them. So again, we have 2 less cards. We have 2 less Mythics. We have cards that should have already been reprinted, and they're focusing on the best card in this being Death Shadow, the card that everybody wants. When in reality, again, we should be seeing a Mythic in this slot. Their 25th card. Oh, we've gone through all these amazing cards, but oh yeah, we only previewed 24 and we're supposed to have 25. Don't worry, here's a rare. Don't worry, it's a great rare. It's a rare that everybody is familiar with what it does and what it is. Most everybody. But again, that should be highlighted by a Mythic of some kind. This Mythic is almost trash. Triumphant Reckoning. This is a Commander Brawl card, however you want to look at it. Again, which leads me to believe that this is slated more towards Brawl / Commander. And then again with Sword and Body and Mind. So the other reason, though, that I do feel like they did it this way is because I do feel like with the last anthology set, with them bringing in big old Ulamog and Phyrexian Obliterator and whatnot, I do feel like they kind of tilted it a little too heavy on those cards. Those cards should not have been included. Hopefully they've learned their lesson. So these cards are obviously not going to be as powerful. But again, I would have loved to have seen these cards replaced with other cards from the remastered set, but the chase cards, cards like Pithing Needle, even though Pithing Needle's not that great, or Oblivion Stone, or just rares in general from older sets that could have been included. So again, I do think that you should be upset when purchasing this product. I do think overall this product will deliver on some aspects of what they're trying to do. I do think some of these cards will be playable. I do think enough of them will be playable in order to make a difference in Historic. But overall, I don't like, again, the fact that we're getting shorted 2 Mythics, 2 cards in general, and we're just seeing cards that we should have already seen. So that is my thought on that. And again, I know I've kind of rambled on. I've hit along on the same points overall, but again, I play Historic. You guys know me to play Historic, and that's what we are going to continue to play on. We're going to have opinions on it, and for me to continue to play Historic. I really want to see it go in a good direction. There may be a point at some, there may be a day at some point whenever they just completely screw up what they're doing with printing, and we may get out of Historic. I hope that doesn't happen, and maybe at that point we move towards Brawl or something along those lines. But then again, they need to support Brawl. They need to come out and finally say, hey, we're going to support Brawl. They need to stop coming out and saying, well, if you guys want to see Historic Brawl, we're going to put up this Historic Brawl queue, and let's see if you guys really want to play Historic Brawl. No, you know what? Just add it. It's a simple switch you got to turn on. And at this point, you have regular Brawl always on, so just turn on Historic Brawl. Let's just keep going. Let's add more formats. Let's make it easier for people to play the formats they want to play, and let's give people what they want to see. Let's give them more cards. Let's give them access to cards like I'm just naming cards at this point, Hangerback Walker, or again, any of those Kaladesh inventions, or something along those lines. Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's not give us, Ahmed Eternal, or crazy uncommons or commons that are just never going to see play. Let's do that. Let me pay a few extra gems, and let's double the amount of cards. Let's get some more rares. They're going to come out eventually anyway. Let's just get a little bit of a better selection of what we can see here. And Wizards, you're trying to make it bigger and better. You've been gradually increasing the pull. You started at 20 cards, I believe, then you went to 26, then to 27, and now you're just going to pull the rug from under us, so to speak, and drop down to 25 and cut the number of mythics that we're seeing, and potentially the number of rares. It's just, overall, I feel like it's a little greedy play, and I think we just could have made better selections. So I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thank you so much for being patient with me. I do want to let you know I'm not going to make another video tomorrow. I am going to try to make a video in 2 days. Would potentially come out on Friday, so 3 days, because of I would like to make a video. I would like to make a new video with some of these new cards, and these new cards drop today. As you're watching it, it'll be Wednesday. So yeah, in 2 days. So it'll be Friday by the time that video comes out. So again, thanks for being so patient with me. I'm so happy to have my water back on. I don't have the green screen up right now because that's packed away right now because we are working on getting out of this apartment. So hopefully some cool news on that soon, but still got stuff in the works. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. You guys are amazing. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you're excited about from this anthology set. Let me know why you're upset, what you think they should have included, any ideas that you had for this. I would love to hear. I would love to discuss them. So hop into the Discord, let me know what you think, and we can just have a back and forth conversation, because again, I love Historic, I love Magic, I love Arena, and I want to see it continue to thrive. So with that being said, everybody, please stay safe, and we will see you next time. Remember, this channel would not exist without such amazing viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for interacting with the channel and helping grow the community. And a very big special thank you to the Patreons listed here for supporting the channel.